a legitimate opportunity to get $250,000 in exposure with one of the biggest and best financial institutions in the country, with no documentation or minimal documentation, in as little as 48 hours. Let's talk about it. Chase Bank has made a revolutionary change in its lending and underwriting standards for small businesses, and is rolling out a program or rolling out updates. This is hot off the press, that will allow small business owners that are in their ecosystem to apply for up to $250,000 in various forms of credit with no documentation if they have reasonable enough financials. Let's break into this program and the details a little bit more specifically. Chase Bank has been well known to be a very hard bank to get capital from. For a long time, it felt even impossible to get credit cards from Chase. They've come a long way in the last couple of years or so. I've shot videos in the past about how Chase has gone out of its way to offer pre-approvals that are 90+% accurate to a much broader array of clients. People getting approved for credit cards with Chase Bank that have less than a 600 credit score or brand new socials, brand new in the United States. And also people getting credit limit increases of massive sizes. You know, we're talking about upper 4 digits, 5 digits in credit limit increases, and being able to do so as of earlier this year with no hard inquiry on their credit report to do so. Now they've rolled out and expanded in the small business arena. Chase was well known for needing 2 years of financials on a business and in tax returns, and 2 years of personal financials and personal tax returns for most of its borrowing outside of business credit cards. They have started to thin out where they might ask for maybe only a year or so if you had a reasonable banking relationship with them on a personal or business side. Chase has officially rolled it out where now you can access up to $250,000 in capital from them with no documentation whatsoever. This is a $250,000 maximum exposure, credit cards included in this program. So that means any loan, term loans, lines of credit, equipment financing, and credit cards, $250,000 is the roof. No documentation is at play pending you have a strong banking relationship with them. If you're coming off the streets, likelihood is that you're gonna have to provide documentation. But for those of you, which many of us are, inside of that ecosystem already, with your business, you are likely gonna have an opportunity to get up to $250,000 if you're financially supported without having to provide them any documentation, and getting access to that, getting approved and funded in as little as 48 hours. Quick data points. You are likely going to need around a 680 to 700 in credit score at the ground floor to have a reasonable shot at this program. The next thing is you're going to need to have either probably like 10 grand in daily average deposit balances, or at least 5 or more thousand a month in revenue coming in to have a legitimate shot as well. This is not going to be for, you know, I don't have revenue yet, projected revenue, you know, 620, 640, 660 credit scores. You are likely going to need to provide documentation justifying why they need to be lending you money. Chase did not get where it is and is not in the position that it's in, lending out to subprime borrowers at a high level. So you're going to need a 680 to 700. You're going to need either 10,000 average daily balances or at least 5,000 or more in revenue coming in to probably be taken seriously and have a legitimate shot at not needing to provide paperwork. Your entity will still need to be in existence 6 months to a year at the ground floor to have any shot at this as well. And ideally, you would have that banking relationship with Chase during that 6 months to a year. Industry. If you follow this channel, you know, my pioneers know I talk NAICS codes constantly on this channel. And the reason for that is because when you're doing business lending, the industry you're in is very important. If you are a real estate investor, if you are a trucker, if you are in adult film industry, if you're in the marijuana industry, this is probably not going to be for you. Chase is probably either not going to want to bank with you at all, or they'll bank with you, but they're not going to want to lend to you. You need to be in a stable industry. Very important. The more high risk your industry is, the more likely they're going to need paperwork if they even consider you. Why is Chase Bank in position to do this? And why have I been promoting that y'all need to be banking with Chase Bank and growing within Chase Bank? Chase Bank has probably the best banker and one of the best CEOs of this era in Jamie Dimon. The man is a genius, and he is very good at what he does. He loves to run what's called a fortress balance sheet. He is very prepared for economic downturns and uncertainty. They are very conservative in their financial functioning, who they lend to, who they do banking with. And this has allowed them to be in a position to scan the marketplace and find out what their competitors are doing, which nowadays in the last handful of 3 to 5 years, tons of different lenders have cropped up that are doing low to no documentation and fast funding. Chase is looking out saying, oh no, absolutely not. Y'all are not about to come out here and step on our toes. Chase has the infrastructure, technology, and the personnel to compete and outpace just about everybody else in the marketplace. They've looked out in the landscape and seen an opportunity, because a lot of these companies that were doing a lot of this special financing and this fast financing are in a bind right now. Interest rates being up. I just shot a video recently talking about how small, mid-sized community banks are crunched right now due to the higher interest rates and the commercial real estate crisis. Chase sees blood in the water, and they are in the position to not only be stable, but to expand. And so they are looking out saying, we can roll out a program that will allow tons of small business owners to get access to quality capital at great rates with a solid institution that you can physically walk into and do so in 48 hours or less if they have strong personal credit and an identifiable and a strong banking relationship with us. We will lean in on that. We will reduce the arduous paperwork, the slow turnover times, and this will allow businesses to come in with us, get access to the capital they need, and build an ecosystem and grow under our roof. We're going to be the primary lender in the United States, and they have the infrastructure, the technology, and the personnel to do so. Chase Bank is going to be one of the best institutions to be with in the 2020s and beyond. I'm telling you right now, if you're already in the ecosystem, many of you can testify to this. My guy, the credit cousin, I'm sure you're going to catch this video. Comment down below and let these people know the kind of success you've been having with Chase Bank. I've been having the same thing. I'm telling you right now, Chase Bank, Amex, I'm going to throw them back out there again, but this is about Chase Bank. These institutions are poised for growth during times of economic uncertainty. It's time for you to get in with them, or if you're with them, it's time for you to tap in to the modern adjustments that they're made to scale their access and to grow their clientele book when it comes to lending on a personal and especially on the small business side. Comment down below and let me know if you're banking with Chase Bank. Let me know if you're business banking with Chase Bank, and if you plan on taking advantage of this $250,000 program where you can get access again to $250,000 in max exposure across business credit cards and business lending. We're talking equipment financing, term loans, lines of credit with no documentation. If your personal credit is strong enough, business has been in business long enough, if you've been banking with Chase long enough and have a strong enough banking relationship and have a stable industry you're functioning in. Comment down below and let me know if this is something you're going to be able to take advantage of, or you plan on switching over to take advantage of. Other than that, to all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. Want to learn more about myself and the channel? Start in the description section, work your way to the about section on the channel. Other than that, I want y'all to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.
This is JP from Blueprint for Prosperity Network, a channel dedicated to helping you increase your net worth through relationship banking, maximizing your borrowing capacity, the proper use of life insurance, and the ownership of real estate. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading content on a daily basis to help you customize your blueprint for prosperity.